As I have said in previous instructional videos in this channel, on many of today's electronic instruments, one can use different playing strategies. For example, when many people play the BK-7m with a V-accordion, they use the treble voices of their V-accordion with the auto accompaniment patterns of the BK-7m. That is, they don't actually use the treble voices UP1 and UP2 of the BK itself. Well, not only are they missing out on the many sounds available on the BK, depending on exactly what kind of orchestral changes they might want to invoke at any particular time during a performance, they must control two instruments at once. For example, they activate orchestral tones on the V accordion by pushing certain register buttons representing the particular locations of the sounds that they want. And then they change the accompaniment style variations on the BK by using either front panel buttons or equivalent foot pedals. Well, wouldn't it be nice to control all orchestral changes on just one instrument? Perhaps with the aid of a foot pedal? Better yet, wouldn't it be nice to control multiple orchestral changes, like both treble voices and accompaniment style variations, simultaneously at the press of a single foot pedal? And even better still, wouldn't it be nice to control all of the different orchestral changes within one song? Intro, treble voice changes, style variation changes, bridge between sections, and ending, all by pressing the very same single foot pedal? No more searching around on the floor with your foot to find a particular pedal in the middle of your performance. Instead of operating the instrument in an interactive manner, that is, by accessing various features on the instrument where they are located, you can use a pre-programmed approach called saved multi-part song orchestrations. I've been demonstrating this in many of my recent videos when playing either a V accordion, such as the FR4X solo, or when playing the BK-7m with a V accordion as the controlling instrument. But many viewers have said that they feel that the saved multi-part song orchestration playing strategy seems overly complicated to set up and more trouble than it's worth. In response, I'm making this video to show that it is relatively easy to set up, as well as to show many of the operational advantages compared to the interactive approach I mentioned earlier. To make my point, I will control the entire orchestration of an example song using just one pedal. In fact, I will play without even connecting the usual Roland FC7 or Korg EC5 foot pedal units. That's right. I will connect to the BK just one Boss FS5U foot pedal, which, as you should know, connects using a 1/4-inch instrument cable to its own special receptacle at the back of the BK-7m. With just this one pedal and the saved multi-part song orchestration playing approach, I am able to complete an intro, multiple treble voice changes, a style variation change, mid-performance bridge, and ending, completely hands-off, thus demonstrating that the saved multi-part song orchestration approach makes the BK much easier to play. Now, I'm not actually advocating that everyone restrict themselves to just one pedal in all their playing with the BK-7m. Of course not. There are many advantages to having several foot pedals to access certain BK features, regardless of playing strategy. I definitely encourage the use of the original FC7 foot pedal if you can get one, or the Korg EC5 with Roxy's special custom adapter cable. However, I want to make the point in this video that for the majority of orchestral changes, the saved multi-part song orchestration approach offers many practical advantages, one being reducing the number of pedals required to play a piece, and you will understand how it accomplishes that very soon. My example will be my own orchestration of the song Orale. You most likely know it as Love Me Tender. However, did you know that Elvis's song of 1956 was really a remake of an older song from the time of the American Civil War? That's right. It was entitled Orelay, also known as The Maid with Golden Hair. Some people refer to it as Oralee, but no matter, they all mean the same song. Here is the original cover page from sheet music published at that time. To help you follow along with my explanation of the orchestration, I recommend that you download from the text description section of this video the sheet music and orchestration file that I provide. It's a free download. To ensure that the display of your own BK-7m looks exactly like mine every step of the way, I recommend that you format a new USB flash drive using the BK's Format USB Device operation. It's the last item available when you press the menu button. Then plug the drive into your computer and copy into the My Performances folder the downloaded file called Orelay 4parts.ups. As the name suggests, that file represents a 4-part orchestration of the song. Finally, plug the drive back into your BK-7m. Press the list button. Use the rotary control to underline the Orelay 4 parts. Then press the rotary control button twice to load the orchestration into the instrument's active memory. Note that this operation is equivalent to a user-programmed bank import operation on a V accordion. It's easier on the BK, don't you agree? Press the rotary control one more time to activate the first part. What you see in the display is a list of the various parts of my orchestration of the song in sequential order. Each part represents a saved collection of feature selections, a collection that I want the instrument to activate when playing each part of the song. If I press my pedal, the highlight moves from part to part. Do you see how this works? When I get to the last part, it goes back to the first. To make this magic happen, I configure my pedal for the Performance Next feature. Now, knowing that Love Me Tender is the modern name for the song that I want to play, your approach might be to select the song from Music Assistant, where it is listed as Love Me Softly, thus picking up Roland's suggested set of initial feature selections for playing the song. And if you do that, it would sound pretty close to what you would expect from an Elvis Presley version. Personally, I think Music Assistant's version of that song sounds a little bit country, as you might expect, perhaps, from Dolly Parton. Incidentally, many people call selections from Music Assistant orchestrations, but they are not. They represent just the initial conditions of an orchestration, a starting point, if you will. Anyway, I don't want to play Roland's suggested version. I want to produce my own orchestration. After all, isn't that the whole idea of an arranger in the first place? For me to orchestrate my own music, myself? Sure. Pressing the exit button causes the BK to display what the owner's manual calls the main page. It reports some of my orchestration's initial feature selections. Notice the name Orelay 1.1. That's my own numbering system to help remind myself exactly how I organize the song into sections and parts. You'll understand my motivation as I go along in this presentation. You don't have to use my numbering system. You can devise one of your own. The time signature is 4/4, the tempo 78 beats per minute, and the UP1 light is lit, which means that it will sound, and the voice I chose is multi-wind, which resides in the wind family. My intention is to play treble sounds from the BK, not from my V accordion. When I actually play, the volume control of the V accordion will be set to 0. The active accompaniment style is classic from the traditional world family. And the active style variation is number 2. That, combined with the multi-wind voice in UP1, will give the song the general mood of Ashokan Farewell, which was so popular in Ken Burns' PBS documentary series, The Civil War. It also reminds me of music from the era of Handel's water music. The intro feature is active and the sync start light is red, which will cause the BK to immediately start playing the intro when I press the very first chord button, a C major, on the V accordion, as indicated in my sheet music. Let's go to part 2. I now see UP2 lighting up. That means I'm now layering 2 voices. Perhaps you're not impressed because you could achieve the same thing yourself using resident voices of your V accordion, right? But here's the thing. If I go into the tone part view in the Performance Edit menu, I see that the volume of voice UP1 is the usual default 100. But UP2, which has been assigned a rich choir sound, has been reduced to 70 by me. I have adjusted the mix. This is a vital part of playing any electronic musical instrument, and making mix adjustments is not possible when playing in real time for the reason that you need to make an adjustment to a menu parameter. To play layered sounds with proper mix adjustments on any electronic instrument, you must use a saved multi-part song orchestration playing strategy. Anyway, look at my sheet music and you will see that this part is activated halfway through the first section of the music, hence the number 1.2 in the name. Okay, let's look at the third part of my orchestration. The name has the number 2.1, meaning that this is the first part of the second section. This is where it gets interesting. Typically, when a piece is divided into sections, a live backing band is expected to play some kind of bridge between them. Well, the BK can do that by playing an intro. What's that, you say? You've never heard of playing an intro in the middle of a song? Well, it's been a popular playing technique on arranger-style keyboards for about 15 years. Try it out yourself next time you play the BK in your usual manner. Just press the intro button at any time during your performance. The intro of the currently active style variation will start playing. But here's the thing. In my orchestration, I already played the intro to variation 2 when I first started playing part 1.1. I don't want to play the same intro twice. Besides, since I'm starting a new section, I want to switch to a different style variation anyway. So you see, I want to do 2 auto accompaniment operations at the same time. I want to change the style variation, and I want to play the intro of the new style variation. I cannot do that using the usual interactive approach. To accomplish it, I must use the saved multi-part song orchestration approach. But that's not all. You may notice that both treble voices UP1 and UP2 have also changed. So you see, I'm actually doing 4 things at once. A style variation change, a new intro, a new voice for UP1, and a new voice for UP2. Being able to accomplish 4 operations simultaneously is a tremendous operational advantage, and it is only possible when using the saved multi-part song orchestration approach. Incidentally, I want to mention another personal touch to my orchestration. Not only do I change the style variation, but I edit it as well. If you go into the Style Parts menu, you will see that A drums and A bass tracks have been increased from their default of 100 to 127 by me. This increase helps change the mood from quiet classical Handel to a resounding Tchaikovsky Slavonic March. It gives the music a bit of a surprise, similar to Haydn's Surprise Symphony. I'm anxious to hear what you think of that. And again, doing that is only possible if I use the saved multi-part song orchestration playing approach. My last issue is how to end the song. Normally, when playing using the Roland FC7 or the Korg EC5 foot pedal units, I press a pedal that has been configured to activate the ending operation directly. But as I said earlier, just to prove a point, I wanted to play the entire song using just one pedal, a single Boss FS5U. So how can I invoke the ending? Well, I don't have to press the ending button on the front panel. Instead, I create a last part of the song that has the ending activated. When I switch to that part, the song will end. And again, I'm not advocating that you do this for all your playing. I'm just wanting to make a point that if you are stuck with a single pedal, this can be a convenient trick for ending a song. And I must warn that doing it with only one pedal, as you see me do here, is a bit tricky. When ending the song, you have to press the pedal at precisely the right time, slightly ahead of when you press the next note. Otherwise, the treble sound will mute. I show this in my sheet music. Anyway, to summarize, as you can see, my simple example orchestration actually contains a lot of planned detail. And now you are wondering, what does all this sound like when I play it? Many people have asked me to show specifically, step by step, the creation process of a new song orchestration. To do this efficiently, I'll pick a song that I happen to know very well called Lightly Row. So this is how it's done. I start by pressing the list button, activating Music Assistant, and then choosing Make New List. I'm prompted to name my orchestration. I'll call it Lightly Row. and then I press the right button. The BK has created my new performance list called Lightly Row. Currently, there's nothing in it. To play my song, which I've done many times, I'm going to want to use the Style 36 in the ballroom family. Italian Swing Fox. I'm going to make my tempo 150. I'm going to keep UP1 folk clarinet to make it simple, and I'm going to choose variation 2 to make it simple, and I'm going to press the intro and press the sync start, and that will be my part 1. I press the right button, and now I must name it. It gave me the name of the accompaniment style, but I want it to be Lightly Row. And of course, it will be Lightly Row 1, corresponding to the first part of my orchestration. I press the right button. When I look in the container, it now contains my Lightly Row 1. Okay, what about the second part? Well, suppose in my second part, I want to activate style variation. Whoops, let me stop that. I want to activate style variation number 4. I'm going to play a mid-performance bridge between 2 sections. And that should be about it. I'm going to keep the same treble voice just to make the orchestration simple. I don't need to have this sync start button on. I can turn it off. Okay, looks good. Press the right button. It asks me if I want to replace. No, this is a new part. And do I want the same name? Well, I want everything the same except for the number. Number 2. Press the right button. And there you have it. I now have an orchestration consisting of 2 parts. Now I'm going to play it.